Grass Valley's Agile Media Processing platform is not just a single product, it's an ecosystem. And that means customers use it in a huge variety of different ways to solve different business problems. And one of the most popular use cases is that of remote monitoring, especially in the time of COVID when you're trying to avoid sending large numbers of staff to major events and outside broadcasts. And what the Flow Monitor does is enables you to take signals from, say, your truck, say your multi-viewers, and then expose them over low latency video feeds over the public internet and deliver them straight into people's homes where they can watch them on a normal computer via a web browser, or even on an iPad. So just think how powerful that is, just being able to give your production staff a device like this that they can look at any of the multi-viewers coming from the truck, listen to any of the audio channels, including the talkback channels, in probably quarter of a second or less behind real time. So for example, these pictures I'm looking at here in the UK are coming to me from the west coast of America, and I'm less than half a second from real time as I'm getting them here at home. So let's look at how this works in practice. So all you need to get started with the AMP remote monitoring solution is a one-use server called an AMP Edge. And this can take up to 8 SDI signals, or 2110 if you prefer. And in fact, because it supports all of the standard AMP input types, if you have any other signal types on premise, such as NDI, then you could bring those in as well. And then once you've got the signals into the system, you can create a dashboard like the one I've got here that shows me all of the signals coming into my system. It's also showing me that I'm creating a local multi-viewer directly inside my AMP Edge device to combine these input signals. And then I can also control how I want to send them out. So if I want to change the routing to send that out as the source, then I can simply just drag and drop the picture, and now that is going out on that Flow Monitor. So to then let users view those streams, you simply click on it and it will give you the URL, which will securely allow a remote user to log on to that Flow Monitor. Initially they'll see an image like this, just showing them keyframes, but then by simply clicking at the bottom left, they will then form a connection, and the software will actually work out how to traverse the public internet all the way around the world, in my case coming from Oregon, and it will show me then 1080p pictures in my case with audio, very high quality, just on my web browser. And just to give you an idea of how accurate it is, if we now just bring up the actual time here in another window over the top, you can see that the difference between the current time and the feed I'm getting from Oregon, and again I'm in the UK, we're literally under half a second difference there. So it gives you an idea of how low latency the monitoring system is. So there's a couple of different ways you can set it up. In most of the time you would use it like this. So effectively you would have signals being derived directly from the truck and then sent one-to-one to individual users who want to watch those individual Flow monitors. In my case, I've got 2 here. I could have 6 or 7, depending on how many outputs I want. But in some situations where you want to perhaps send to a larger number of users, then an alternative strategy is to actually use the cloud as effectively a relay. So here I've created another AMP system running in the cloud, and then with that I can send my pictures over the public internet at higher quality contribution quality into the cloud, where I can then create further streams to then be distributed out to individual users who are watching it. So this lets me feed more users without putting additional bandwidth requirements on the venue or the truck that's actually feeding those signals out. Costs a little bit more latency, probably another half a second, perhaps a bit less, but it's worth it if you want to send a lot of streams to a lot of different users. So there you are, that's a quick overview of the AMP remote monitoring solution. If you'd like to find out more about this, or indeed the broader range of AMP solutions available to you, then you can find all the details on the website, or of course you can contact your local sales professional.